the hardest thing.
Tumblr apparently still exists. I get emails and people update on Tumblr.
That's weird.
Ellen used to have a blog that was things the size of my head. So when you posted that Instagram of you with the horchata that was the size of your head.
My head.
I really should bring that back. It's a
really
great Instagram feed.
There are a lot of things the sizes of heads.
And it's so much fun posing with them. And there was a sister blog that we had.
You have to forgive my voice. I'm
Yeah, this is actually the improvement.
Yeah, this is as froggy as I sound. This is a vast improvement. I physically could not speak by Tuesday.
Oh no.
I enjoyed it because I got to monologue. Just monologue.
The best part was, I got an interview and I couldn't really speak very well. Since I was like hoarse and raspy.
I'm very sorry that you have to now, you're about to deliver like a monologue on this time.
I've been saving my voice just for today.
Oh,
well, he's going to get ranty. Just spoiler.
I might get a little ranty too on this one.
Damn.
I mean, I don't know if it's ranty.
Guys. We cried all the time.
Did you cry out of boredom and confusion?
No. Pure unadulterated schmaltz and like missing Robin Williams. I mean,
that is real, but this is not the movie that makes me miss Robin Williams.
I loved this movie as a kid.
What is
talking
Dana
about this
doing?
movie without any kind of introduction. Yeah. Also, what is happening with Dana right now? Jeez. Yeah.
The second I sit down at my computer, the dogs decide it's playtime, and Echo was literally headbutting me with her toy unless I would play with her. And then she's a very strong dog, so if I try to play with her, she pulls me out of my chair, and it looks horrible.
Sure, but that's why I was like, what is happening?
It'll stop eventually, but for now,
it will stop eventually, which is what I said throughout this entire movie. And speaking of which, we should introduce ourselves. Welcome to You're No Fun Anymore, the podcast where we deal with our nostalgia. I'm Randall.
I'm Dana.
I'm Alexandra. I'm Helen, and I am not bouncing around like I'm on some kind of mechanized paddle.
And Dana's busy playing with the dog.
Well, one of us is.
So
she can't defend herself because her mic got unplugged.
Go ahead.
Throw some invisible food and get ready to never grow up again. We are looking into 1991's Hook or Peter Pandering.
Oh, good. That's pretty good. Yeah. I'm not going to hate it.
I would also accept Finding Neverland.
Yay!
I like that one.
Or Bad Father's Day.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Because it's a Spielberg movie, so we have to have daddy issues.
The stories are true. He's come back to seek his revenge. Only you can save your children. You must make yourself remember.
Remember what?
Peter, don't you know who you are?
Have to fly. Have to fight. Have to crow. Have to save Maggie. Have to save Jack. Okay, back. Who?
Let's fly!
Oh my God, where are we going?
To Never Never Land.
Where?
Dustin Hoffman, Robin Williams, Julia Roberts, Bob Hoskins.
I hate Peter Pan.
Hook, rated PG.
Content warning. This selected film may contain scenes depicting the following: implied genocide, murder, gun violence, torture, suicidal ideation, kidnapping, parental neglect, child endangerment, drinking, language, intense herpetophobia, invisible binge eating disorder, brief cryptid side boob, rampant childlike whimsy, and smoking. And now, back to your regularly scheduled podcast.
Well, God, our last couple movies have been like just chock full of daddy issues.
It's true.
That's the boomer era for you.
Yeah, this is really a big boomer thing. You know, the Cats in the Cradle kind of shit going on here.
Yeah. It's a great song, though.
Okay, can you all tell me why you love this movie so much? Like, but
it's really fun. We started crying almost immediately. Like 10 minutes into the movie. First of all, not only is it Robin Williams, but it's Maggie Smith. Yeah.
Yes.
And I loved my dad growing up, but I always felt like Robin Williams was like a secondary father figure to me, growing up. And this movie came at the right exact moment for me, like in my childhood. This was like, I wanted to be that little chunky kid who there is not really a lot of fat phobia against him. He's actually a fucking hero in this movie.
He's the cutest. He's the best. So cute. He is so cute.
And like the way he like rolls and like becomes like knocks people over. Yeah. And he's like a super like,
and then picks up like a gun,
he becomes the like de facto leader. Spoiler alert at the end,
right?
And Rufio was hot.
Yeah.
He's a child, like literally a child. You weirdo.
He was hot. And he's also good looking as an adult now.
Yeah, I could not bring myself to
like. I've seen photos of him as an adult now, and he like is 100%.
Yeah, he's pretty hot.
And he calls out the fact that he's like, yeah, I knew that I was a lot of people's crush as a kid. You know, like I grew up as a kid. I mean, especially with that midriff and the dyed hair and the like gothy eye.
Totally.
Yeah, it was very apparently very Mad Max inspired. So you get a lot of that.
For me,
and the food fight was so much fun. Like
you're going through the whole episode. I
just love it.
For me, I have a lot of really good memories of this movie when I was a kid. Like we got an advanced preview of it. My middle school did. So they took all of us to a screening in the middle of the day. And I have this really great memory of 800 13-year-olds in a theater watching it. And then we all went to get Chinese food afterwards.
This shit is why they're defunding education now, Dana.
That is a really good memory. That said, there is so much about this movie that makes me so mad now. So mad. Yeah. So I don't think I still enjoy it, but I do enjoy the memories that it brings up.
Yeah. So I don't give a shit about this movie. Like I don't. I didn't realize that this was a movie that occupied a place in people's like childhood like heart treasure box. In fact, I have more memories of playing the NES game because the Rufio climbing the tree level is one of those fucking monster Nintendo side-scroller levels that you couldn't beat.
You will never beat.
Those games are so hard.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I remember seeing this because it came out around Christmas, and I think it might have just been just past the right age for it, where it just didn't really.
You were a little too old for it.
Yeah, like it didn't really. I was like, okay, this is kind of fun, but like I barely remembered. Like the only things I remember vividly out of that movie was Robin Williams being a shitty dad.
Mm-hmm. I forgot how much of a shitty dad he was.
The Tinkerbell Unrequited Love, which always broke my heart.
We're going to talk about that.
And then. Honestly, it was just like the Rufio. Like, that was it. And I do like now there's parts of it, and I kind of understand why Spielberg, he always says he's proud that he did this movie because he and Robin Williams became lifelong friends after this. But you can tell he's kind of uncomfortable because he doesn't really know or knows how to do this kind of high fantasy whimsy very well.
It's weird because it's Spielberg, and he does, like, whimsy is his thing.
Yeah, but there was very little whimsy. He was kind of whimsied out.
It was bogged down a little bit.
I think you get a little bit of the whimsy in like the baseball game.
Sure.
Or like a little bit in like Pirate Town, I'm
going to say something that's going to make everyone yell at me. So let's get it right out of the box now. Okay. I didn't think that this was a particularly good role for Robin Williams. Aww. There wasn't much Robin Williamsy about most of it.
I think that's what it was. What was like unique about
it was that
he wasn't doing the like manic Robin Williams character that he's known for.
Also wasn't fully in the schmaltz.
Yeah.
Right.
Like when he was doing other dramas
like
and he would lean into it.
Yeah. It just felt very half-assed from Robin Williams, from my perspective.
I thought restrained.
Yeah.
I thought it gave him a lot of...
Some say restrained, some say it's totally half-assed.
He's the straight guy until the last 30 minutes of the movie. That's
weird for Robin.
I think it gives him with Robin Williams being the straight guy.
I think it gave him like a really good
straight man. He can be the straight guy, but
I think it gave him like a really good range. Like you got to see him be surprisingly an asshole, somebody that you don't like, dismissive of his kids,
for like a good reason.
Yeah,
like,
it's
he's
just
a bad dad just because.
But also
like
he's got a job that kind of does like what's her name. Like Maggie Smith said, he's a pirate, like he kind of like does that kind of thing.
Mergers and acquisitions.
Yeah, as his job. And like, he's like, very dismissive of the kids. He's not there. He yells at his kids for like random things. He has this like growing up character. And I think it's like a very good nuanced look at fathers who can be a little dismissive of their kids sometimes,
a little.
And then I think it like really lets him shine in like multiple facets, because then when he's Peter Pan and he's like childlike again, you see that like kind of glint of Robin Williams' normal characters,
Right. Yeah. I mean, before we get further into this, we should set up where we're coming from, because I think this is a big reason why there's such a dividing line on this. Is because the year is 1991.
Yep.
And this year would see
9, 12,
11.
Oh, really? Oh God, I was the oldest out of all of you. Okay, this year would see the incredible.
I'm telling you, it hit me right in the feels.
I was talking with like a lot of colleagues that I worked with, and they were shocked when I told them I was kind of meh on this movie, and they only came at me with like this like heartfelt emotion and attachment to this film, and were genuinely surprised that I didn't feel that, and I don't.
This is one that I've talked to people where I'm like, I'll throw a quote at them and they have no idea what I am talking about, like people in our age range. And then there are people that can quote the entire movie back at you. I feel like there's no in between with this one.
Right. Yeah. You're either on board.
We watched it a lot as kids. When I was a kid, we watched it a lot. I mean, Bangarang was something.
Bangarang, I was so annoyed every time they said that. So annoyed.
Stop trying to make fetch happen.
Right.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, that's actually a real term. I think it's from Jamaica. It means like revolution. Anyway, the year is 1991. This year would see the incredible Dolly Parton create the Buddy program. She was horrified by her hometowns in Sevier County. Their high school dropout rates was reaching over 30%. So she created the Buddy program, where she invited all the 7th and 8th grade students in 1991 to an assembly and asked them to choose a buddy. And if they couldn't find one, she would find one for them. Then she promised each student $500 of her own money when they graduated. The only additional condition on that was their buddy must graduate as well. The program was an incredible success, and it saw the dropout rate plummet to 6%. And that catalyzed the community and provided additional resources to maintain the graduation rates, as well as setting up for Dollywood Foundation to expand their scholarship programs and implementing the Imagination Library in 1995. She is an absolute queen.
Love her. I love Dolly. We need to make a trip to Dollywood. I've said this many times.
We've been saying that.
I know.
Dollywood's great.
And with the closest plane station, I almost said.
Plane station.
That is what it could be called, because it sounds like a plane airport. Yeah. Okay. Is Knoxville, which is a great city.
Oh, yeah.
For the first time ever, Time magazine would recognize a media mogul as its Person of the Year, thanks to mostly the 24-hour news network CNN's coverage of Operation Desert Storm and Desert Shield. That would be Ted Turner. Basically, for the previous beginning of this year, I believe Desert Shield ended in February or March. I think it was the end of February. And people cite it as arguably the first live televised war in the history of broadcasted television. Speaking of Ted Turner, this would also be the year that Turner Broadcasting acquired the entire Hanna-Barbera library for $320 million, paving the way for their future. Yeah, well, it paid off because it was part of their endeavor to launch a 24-hour cartoon channel the following year. I think we talked about that at one point in time.
Probably. I was like obsessed with Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was great. Oh, there it goes. Speaking of colorful kid fare, this year would see the debut of the delectably dubious snack food, Gushers. The tiny fruit gummies held a tiny reservoir of gooey fruit syrup on the inside for an overall dreadfully confusing and disconcerting feeling in your mouth.
That's what she said.
Even more tonally upsetting was the commercials for Gushers, which bordered on body horror in some cases.
It was like kids' heads blowing up, right?
Right. Yeah, it was kind of horrifying. And speaking of commercials, this year would also be the nationwide debut of Bagel Bites. Originally created by Floridians Bob Mosher and Stanley Gerkaczynski. The deliciously tiny snack food, which was a staple of latchkey kids across the nation, is mostly remembered for the killer, nonsensical jingle, pizza in the morning, pizza in the evening, pizza at supper time. When pizza's on a bagel, you can eat pizza anytime, which makes 0 sense.
Yeah, and I actually got more of a Totino's girl. I like Totino's, but they sometimes exploded in your mouth.
Also what she said.
Yeah. And I always loved Bagel Bites because I liked how thick they were on the bottom.
That's what she said.
We're just going to do that the entire time. So that jingle is actually a reimagining of a classic McGuire Sisters song called Sugar Time from 1957.
Oh, sugar in the morning, sugar in the evening.
Instead of pizza at supper time, I always thought it said pizza at bagel time.
Nope. I mean, there should be bagel time.
There should be bagel time.
And speaking of reimagined classics beloved by abandoned children, That brings us to December 11th, 1991. Hook opens early on a Wednesday.
We saw it on a Tuesday.
Yeah, it was very, very strange. But open on Wednesday would make over $17 million during its first week, more than enough to lock in the number one spot against fellow newcomers, The Last Boy Scout, which, shout out to Basic Cable Classics, was the first movie that they ever screened in that running repertory series. At number 2 was $7.9 million. The Warren Beatty, Annette Bening biop Bugsy, only in 4 theaters, and that took in about 140,000. Rounding out the top 5 this week would be the final film outing of the original Star Trek cast. That is Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, with about 7.8 million in its second week at number 3. And that also features the line, Second Star to the Right, and Straight On Till Morning.
Okay. Yeah, figure.
So you had 2 movies in the theaters at this point that were quoting J.M. Barrie. In 4th place, it was Addams Family with 4.7 million in its 4th week. And Beauty and the Beast with 4.6 million in its 5th week at number 5. Overall, this would be a somewhat of a successful outing. It made over 119 million on its over budget price tag because they went over by several weeks in shooting.
But that's unusual for Spielberg.
That's very unusual for Spielberg. It stayed in the number 1 throughout Christmas and to the New Year's, and finally dethroned by The Hand That Rocks the Cradle in the second week of January. Internationally, this was a much bigger hit. It pulled in over 180 million for a total global cume of over 300 million, despite the mixed reviews at the time, and managed to accumulate 5 Oscar nominations, with its release on home video cementing it as a cult favorite for millennials everywhere.
Oh.
To which, again...
For millennials, you're not a millennial.
Yes,
Yeah.
I is.
Yeah, she is.
Alex is the only one of us, I think, that's a real millennial. Like,
I'm an Xennial.
but the rest of us are Xennials.
Yeah.
No, I think I'm.
Are you Gen
I
X?
think I'm the only one that. Yeah,
No.
I'm
I think he's squarely
born in the
Gen X.
70s.
So
Yeah, because
God,
it's.
did I just say that out loud?
Oh, no, you're proper. The
No, I'm
crossover
not.
is 81,
It
82.
depends on the list you look at, but it's generally 75 is the cutoff for Gen X.
Oh, I always associated myself with the older.
They forgot
older
a bunch of
kids.
us because it's 75 was the cutoff for Gen X and 84 is the start of millennials.
I'm
So
happy
we
to
were
be within
in
the
between.
Gen X group. Then hey,
Hey, leave my nihilism out of this. This is fine. As I drink from my Star Wars mug, wearing my Star Wars shirt. But yeah, I think the reason why there was such a divide on this is that you either saw it at the right age when you were young enough to get the fantasy video. Because like while you guys, like Alex said, she really liked the food scene. I was literally sitting there going, I cannot wait for
That
this
food,
scene to be
I
over.
remember that food looking so good when I was a kid, and it is disgusting. It's like Play-Doh.
It looks like Play-Doh. I hate food fights.
it looks super sugary.
It's
looks
very
super
sugary. It's
It looks
like pure,
it looks like
pure
frosting.
cake frosting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember like this was also around the time where you could? I'm sure it's still available, but just frosting in the can. You
But
know,
you
like-
can still get frosting in the can.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. You can still do that.
It's still available to you. We used to buy it and I used to just eat it straight. Like
I would at least put it on
Absolutely.
graham crackers, but yes, same.
I actually do really, especially rewatching it now and reading and understanding that Bob Hoskins and Dustin Hoffman purposely played their parts, as they said, quote, like old queens.
Oh my God. They are like
And
royal
it's
Shakespeare
100%
Company
that.
queens.
Honestly, Hook is so relatable in this movie to me. I too get dramatic and tell everybody that I want to die. I too think all children hate me. I too like flamboyant hairstyles and clothing. I like.
How do you
Hook
know?
is-
How do you know you've turned the corner as an adult? When Hook makes sense.
Yeah.
To a point, but then he wants to shoot everybody. And I'm like,
The last scene undoes a lot of the work, but the rest of the movie are like he just wants a life. Like he just wants
wants
he
meaning.
misses
Yeah.
Peter because he doesn't get to have adventures anymore. He wants a son. He just didn't know it, and then it was too late because he waited too long. That's super.
That part's not
he
relatable.
doesn't want
That
a son,
part.
he wants a mini me. He wants a mini him, and he wants a clone, and he wants to kill all the indigenous people and children.
Well, no, they were very careful not to include the indigenous people in this one.
Yeah,
They did. They called it.
They said it.
He
Yeah.
did. He did say it out
But
loud.
they don't
yeah.
show
Said it
them.
out loud. No.
There is no Tiger
I mean,
Lily in
I
this.
think it's also because they spend so much time like in basically 2 locations. It's either
Yeah.
the Lost Boys hangout or it's the pirate town.
Yeah.
And you can tell like the sets are phenomenal, and you know they spend a lot of time looking. I think it's also just kind of there's a lot of awkward shots in it, and I think that has to do with the fact that it is so heavily reliant on the use of like green screen and matting in actors. Like poor Julia Roberts basically spent the entire movie being shot alone on a green screen and apparently hated this movie.
They hated her too.
Movie reacting
We've
to
talked about this.
a TV screen, right?
Oh, please somebody.
Also, this was the movie that branded her as difficult for a long time.
I know, but I'm sure she wasn't.
To be fair,
I'm sure
she was also going through. Like,
I know. It was the whole Kiefer Sutherland, Jason Patrick time. It was that whole thing.
Right.
Also, I hope that was a wig because damn, that was a terrible haircut they gave her.
Well, it had to be because they also showed the curly hair too. You know,
Right.
that was
Which
like
was cute.
was like when Courtney Cox got the
Dudley
Moore haircut on Friends. Like it was bad.
I seem to remember her having that haircut.
I mean, maybe, but the one part that I really
all
did
things
notice this
considered,
time.
sorry, just to go back to Julia
Yeah, she
Roberts.
did. She had that haircut, guys.
All things considered, even though she's acting against like a TV screen, she does a decent job.
She does a really great job.
You
Like,
get a
I
lot
love
of
her in
emotion
this
out of
movie.
her.
I did like the one scene I really liked in the entire movie, but I also thought was weird, was her confession of love when she grew up big.
I don't understand why everybody is like on Robin
We
Williams.
just want to talk about this real fast. This is my number one anger about this movie. Peter Pan is a fuckboy.
Yeah, for real.
The incestuous relationship he has with Maggie Smith is so uncomfortable.
He messes with
hold
so
on.
many women. Like the fact that he starts with Wendy, who probably wasn't the first one, by the way, starts with Wendy, keeps her on a hook for
See what you did there.
her entire life, essentially. Like by the last trip, she's in her like 50s, 60s. And then comes back to fuck her granddaughter.
Yeah.
To go for her granddaughter and leaves behind this little fairy that's been in love with him the entirety of his life because she's the one that rescued him, which, by the way, it does not make sense that she rescues him as a baby and then he somehow ages to like 12 or 13 and then stops in Neverland. That makes no sense.
Also
Right.
rescues him as a baby, and in the story that they're talking
He
about,
says he runs
that
away.
He ran away,
Right.
and I'm like,
As a
a
baby.
baby doesn't run away.
Did the second unit director not read the script? Because that was weird.
But that back to he has no care for their feelings whatsoever. And even when it happens, like he seems a little bit upset about the fact that he's hurt Tink, but never acknowledges what he has done to Wendy, which clearly she was stuck on him her entire life, probably lived through a loveless marriage. Like I'm glad that she produced a child, but loveless marriage. And then marries her granddaughter who he completely forgets about while he's in Neverland. He sucks. He's a fuckboy. He's stupid. And I'm not done, but I'm done with this part. Go ahead.
Okay.
I mean, like, I can write off the fact that he was a Faye-touched preteen when he was doing all this, but like Maggie Smith's character still being openly hung up in love with a child she then semi-adopted was
that's
creepy.
But in her
Yeah,
head,
that's a
the way
little
that I
creepy.
picture it, like in Wendy's head, he's growing with her. Like it's a problem that he keeps coming back, obviously, and she's getting older as it's happening. But I think in her mind, she is continuing to grow with him. Like when she says she expected him to come break up her wedding.
Yeah.
I think she was picturing
Also,
like
that's-
teenage Peter would
I'm
come
sorry,
and then they would get old together.
That's a really weird thing to wish for. It's like, please break up my wedding.
Not if you're married.
Dude, don't go through the wedding.
I'm sure
then.
my mom
Yeah.
for that when she got married.
Jesus.
She married
I
her
don't
backup.
know. I
Makes
mean,
sense.
yes, but it's like, yeah.
Or she
there's
thought that would be the catalyst to finally get Peter
Him to
to
show up.
realize that he had one chance, which again is messed up and sad, but
Oh, and we should discuss the fact that while she was following him all over Neverland and completely forgetting her heart to him, he's making her darn socks and cook for all the Lost Boys. She never gets to have any fun. She is
No.
just doing housework when she's out there. Neverland sucks for women.
Which is very similar to the books. I mean, in the book, she's the Lost Boys' mom. You know,
She's the mom. Yeah.
yeah, like Peter Pan was never ever one of my favorite stories because like it's all like
boys.
One set of donkey ears turns this into like the Island of Lost Children from Pinocchio. Like the whole thing is super messed up. You have these pirates who are out there killing children. You have other kids being randomly kidnapped for reasons I've never entirely discerned. And they don't seem happy. They just seem stunted and like they're suffering from.
I mean, this is why it's called Peter Pan syndrome, right? Like,
yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, the story is the fact that this story then, which I think is the great irony,
has no copyright protection in the UK, so that like any time this is put on, the production,
Right.
there's reprinting, all those funds, all that profit goes to the Great Ormond Hospital. And it just seems like of all the stories, you have this like stunted like boy who never grows up and becomes, you know, a role model for Elon Musk's everywhere.
I don't know. I've read and seen so many like new interpretations of Peter Pan that turn Pan into a villain, and Hook sometimes the anti-hero, and sometimes the shadow daddy, like
Once Upon a Time.
Literal fuckboy.
I was going to say,
Once Upon a Time.
He's a hot dude.
Oh my God, he's so hot. But also, like, there is a very, very spicy set of novels that does spicy things with Hook in them. But it doesn't surprise me that that so many interpretations of this now is like Peter Pan is messed up, the Lost Boys are screwed up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't ask for like normalcy when you're literally conscripting child soldiers at that point, because that's essentially what they are.
That is essentially what they are. Did we establish if Peter kidnapped all of them?
I don't know where they came from.
I think they're all supposed to be runaways. Yeah, I think they're all supposed to be runaways or orphans.
They're so little. Who's running away at that age? They're like 6 years old.
There's a lot of
Victorian
people
England, when they're all meant to be working in
they're older. I mean, some of them, but clearly,
the little ones are like 6.
I think you're supposed to tell that like a lot of these Lost Boys are from, because they brought basketball, they brought, you know, like skateboarding. So it is supposed to be.
What if you had the weird Edwardian kid hanging out with the kid from the 70s who has like a tab of LSD in his bag? Like,
but when Peter was first there, it was all Victorian England. Sure. And so he wasn't running away from mines, Alex. He was running away from becoming a banker. I know, but it's like running away from like the most privileged life ever. According to this story.
That's a weird, it is kind of a weird setup when like he suddenly remembers his mom, and it's kind of like in Star Wars where it's just like, do you remember your mom, your real mom? She's like, yeah, of course. It was like, I saw her when I was literally born, and that's it, because she died because of a broken heart afterwards. It's like, what is this backstory?
That's sad.
Right. And it's just like, okay, what is the point of having that like scene where they're like, he's going to go off to meet these Oxford, and he's going to be this, you know, titan of industry. And then he's like, nah, fuck it.
I'm going to crawl away from this shit.
I'm going to be a survivalist in Never Neverland, you know?
It's a movie for kids, and for kids, just your mother talking about like, this is the set path that you will be on.
No responsibilities for me.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Just run away.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's part of that. And this is why, like, I found the message of the movie is kind of like half of this movie is him dealing with his abandonment of his fatherly duties of like his children, where he's never really there, and they're just kind of like going up. I still love at the very end of it, his daughter is still like, nah, fuck this, I want mom.
Okay, let's talk about Maggie for a second.
Yeah.
How many times does everyone in this movie forget that Maggie exists?
I know.
This poor little
Is she
girl.
getting fed? The whole time I'm thinking, I hope somebody's feeding and like taking care of Maggie, because otherwise she is like.
No, they drag her off. They drag her off in one scene, then she disappears for like a good chunk of the movie.
He shows up for her little somewhere out there moment.
He sings poorly, and everybody has feelings.
Very cute.
So cute.
She's actually the better child.
She is a younger sister, and we do have a tendency to find food when we want it.
We find food where we want it.
She's the better child because she's the one that stands up for her parents when.
And she never loses sight of it.
No.
Like she doesn't buy Hook's BS. She doesn't get kind of it's like little sister.
Yeah, I wanted to see her become mini Smee. Like that would have made me happy.
Like, why isn't she getting kidnapped and hypnotized like Jack is? But also when Peter comes to save them, he keeps screaming, my son, my son. He does not talk about her. He doesn't rescue her. When Maggie needs to be rescued, she yells for Jack. She does not yell for her father. It is messed up, man. And poor little girl.
Yeah, but there's a lot of sisters always look up for our older siblings to like. Yeah,
I know nothing about them.
When I was in my 20s, I fell out of a like tube while we were going tubing in the Esopus, and I had lost my glasses, so I could not see. And Helen had to go like.
Right, but Alex, your parents weren't in the river with you.
No, but I just remember like Helen remembers me going,
Helen in the woods.
But there was no parent there. Like, these are kids. Jack is not even 10 years old.
I think on this like adult viewing, the thing that really, really struck me is there is no point where bad dad Robin Williams explains why he's a bad dad, like, oh, I didn't have the opportunity, or, I want to make sure that you have like, a prosperous future. I want to make sure that you're like taking, at no point is there any kind of like, I'm doing all this for you,
Right.
It's just like, I'm doing all this because I like the attention. I like the power,
I'm
like,
selfish.
no good reason.
He's about to close $1 billion deal.
Also, this is one of those movies I'm like, what happens 10 minutes after the credits roll? Does he quit his incredibly high paying but stressful job to do something else?
I would assume, yes, that he quits the high powered job. They all move in with Wendy and they take over the orphanage when she dies.
Maggie Smith like aggressively pines after her adopted son in a weirdly sexual way for the rest of her life. That's weird.
Did anybody else remember Maggie Smith dying in this movie? There was some point where I was like, okay, when's Wendy dying? Wendy died.
I forgot that Rufio died.
Rufio died?
It only struck me 5 minutes before Rufio dies. Spoiler, that Rufio dies.
I remember that.
I completely forgot that, because also what a waste of a death, because it's just like he dies and then
and not like talked about again.
It is.
There seems pretty.
It is talked about again, because when he goes after Hook, he says this is for Rufio.
This is for Rufio.
And then that was it. That was the grieving period.
Yeah, it just like if that's supposed to be the Boromir moment, where you suddenly realize there are real stakes here. Like I didn't see that, because there's too many things going on, because it's like he's got to save his kids. Now it's also about Rufio. Now it's also about the Lost Boys.
Faramir was the better brother because he was.
Well, yes, but by the time it gets to the end, and also
if
we realize this too.
Not a Lord of the Rings episode.
No, it's not a Lord of the Rings.
It will never be a Lord of the Rings episode.
Oh, it's got to be a Lord of the Rings episode.
Veto.
I was gonna say
veto.
But this kind of struck me in this viewing. I get why he hands the reins of who leads the Lost Boys over to the biggest and the strongest, but you don't at least give an acknowledgement to the kid that actually stood by your side and
That's what I said. Like the first kid that saw him.
The first kid was 6
and said,
years old.
There you
can't
are.
Make him.
Yeah, that first kid is a little too young to be taking care of anything.
He was able to change everyone's mind about Peter.
Right,
I think that little kid has some
not
charisma.
Leading the Lost Boys. He can barely tie his shoes. But also, Thud is the most well-rounded. He's the most well-rounded of the Lost Boys.
I did not realize he had a name. Actually,
he's one of the only ones that his name. But he's well-rounded. Like he fights with
literally,
but he's also the one that is empathetic and he cares about all of the other kids.
Yes,
he's the one that gives Toodles his marbles back. So he is. I think, a good choice for leader.
Well, and also, my favorite is when he gives Peter Toodles marbles, and Peter starts laughing, going, "Oh, he really did lose his marbles. And he lost them good, and he lost them good." And the way he's laughing, he has no idea why he's laughing this hard, but he's laughing because Peter's laughing.
Can I say Toodles is if you think about it for more than 2 seconds, Toodles is the saddest fucking character in this movie.
Absolutely.
Like, he's stuck aging and clearly doesn't understand.
Does not know how to handle it.
Really cool.
And then when he gets his marbles back and he can fly again, is he going back to Neverland to hang out with kids who are kids? And now he is like this decrepit old man with arthritis?
But he clearly he never got past being a kid.
Sure, but
he'll be fine.
But he's just going to live out the remainder of his life in Neverland.
He's going to be the Lost Boys' grandpa. Same way.
But he can't be a grandpa. Like he can't be a father figure the way Peter.
Have so much like imaginary sugar food, or it's going to be fine.
He's going to break a hip, and no one's going to be able to help him. Like these little kids are going to watch him die.
He has come back to England clearly because he's in that last scene. Captain Hook is dead. The pirates need a new leader, so Toodles can go to them because he's a grown-up, and he can lead them in a good way. They can be friends with the Lost Boys. They can.
I like this retirement village.
I'm concerned about his cognitive ability.
Get Glenn Close out of the boo box.
Dementia, and so that's what I will say. The Lost Boys encampment is now very like accessible. It's got ramps and everything, so like he can tootle around. in that encampment perfectly.
Apparently, Spielberg had asked Sir Richard Attenborough to play Tootle, but he was in the middle of directing something at the time.
He was finding a head in his back garden, a dissevered head in his back garden.
Like everybody else to cameo in this.
Glenn
Close is my favorite cameo.
Yeah, Maybe Glenn Close is a pirate.
Everybody knows Glenn Close. They also have Crosby from
David Crosby. Yep.
And Phil Collins.
Phil Collins in that opening shot, which I love that shot. It starts in the window. You think you're in the living room, and it actually pulls all the way out to the street. That's classic Spielberg stuff. There's also Jimmy Buffett is one of the pirates. He's trying to steal the shoes.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah, there was a lot of cameos.
May he rest in Margaritaville. May he rest in
Margaritaville, yes. Yeah, the funny part is like the amount of production time and energy that went into this. Apparently the set was like one of the busiest and most visited set because it was, this is Spielberg at his height, you know, and he's making this giant fantasy movie.
It reminded
they
me
expected
of like
this
Popeye
thing to do
in a way, you know, like that.
Yeah,
Popeye
it's very,
set
very
it's
similar
like,
to Popeye. Also, because Robin Williams had to shave his arms for this as well. I was like, yeah, that's kind of the way it works.
Wearing like a fat suit at the beginning of it.
Yes, he is.
He's like a little like overweight.
He's wearing basically like an oversized
belly. Robin Williams, because like at the beginning of it, he's got a little bit of a belly, and then like once he becomes like Peter Pan, he's like more svelte. You know? Also,
I want to know what the hell they can do in 24 hours to make him lose the equivalent of like. What was that, like 40 pounds?
Right. It's all that flying. It's surprisingly a lot of cardio. Very cardio, yeah.
Also, apparently not eating because you're just eating imaginary food.
Yeah. Well, I think it's imaginary until you see it.
Real.
Right. But I'm still wondering if that has calories.
Those turkey legs look good. The whole scene reminded me and like very John Williams, again, this is like a precursor to Harry Potter.
Yeah, a little Harry Potter in there.
That fight scene was a very it reminded me a lot of the like Great Hall scenes in Harry Potter when they would have like the huge feasts.
The weird part is like
Harry Potter reminds me of this.
I could see like twinklings, no pun intended, of the Harry Potter sound that was coming out of that.
Totally.
But that first 20 minutes, the music is atrocious.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
awful.
It was really bad.
When he is doing his normal, like, Peter, what is his name?
Banning.
Peter Baggert?
Banning.
When he is his adult Peter self, the music, it sounds like really bad library music. And I don't know if that was intentional.
Yeah.
But it was unbearable for, like, to go that long. And just like not have any kind of.
I will also give credit to Robin Williams for giving the most awkward corporate speech.
That's very accurate.
It's so accurate.
It's so accurate.
His delivery and all of that is so stilted. I was like,
especially because that he knows how to work a room.
Yeah.
If he was doing that speech normally, he would kill. And so, like, the fact that he did it so stilted, and you're like, oh, it's so painful.
Well done.
I was watching a speech that he gave during it was like the People's Choice Award or some shit like that, where it was like a tie between Daniel Day-Lewis and Jack Nicholson, and he was up there for some reason, and they just gave him the piece of paper, and so he gave a speech about receiving nothing from this organization. And again, he could just turn a room like that. And to see him really, it's like listening to somebody badly sing, because that's very difficult to sing badly.
Yeah.
Especially when you know how to.
Exactly. It's very difficult to do badly when you know how. There are plenty of people that are very good at it.
Oh, sure. But like when you know how to deliver to a room like that and to purposely just be as awkward as that. And I've seen so many of that where it's like, I'm going to start off with self-deprecating lawyer jokes. And they're just awful. That scene is, I think, also like a little too real in some of those implements. And it's like the tone of this film keeps shifting between these like real heartfelt moments and then the absolute slapstick whimsy between others. Like the baseball game, you're vacillating between this ridiculous thing where he's literally shooting a guy for stealing a base and everybody laughs at it. And then you're feeling because he realizes that he's missing out on his son playing baseball. And it's like, what am I supposed to feel at this moment? You know,
I think
make up your
that's
mind.
one of the biggest faults of the movie is it takes so long to get to Neverland. It's like 40 minutes of movie before you get to Neverland. And that whole first section, there's nothing fun about it because you're getting onboarded to Peter's awfulness as an adult. And then finally, when you get to Neverland, actually, like, I feel like, for me personally, the stuff on the pirate ship works.
Yeah.
I feel like everything on the pirate side, it's the right tone, it's the right tempo, like everything works. It's the Lost Boys that are the problem, and then it's anything that's in reality. Problem. And you just spend too much time.
The reality I find is actually the strongest acting wise because it's
Dustin Hoffman's hook is.
One of the
greatest,
so good.
Great.
The bad form thing we used to quote all the time.
I still say that.
Bad form.
But he's having fun. And Dustin Hoffman, it's hard to make him have fun.
And he's like transformed.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
it's not Dustin Hoffman
anymore. I mean,
anymore.
Dustin Hoffman is method.
You know, when they take the wig off him and he's like
the sad little old man.
And he looks like one of the witches and witches.
But Dustin Hoffman is a method actor, so I feel like this must have been a very funny one to have him just walking around as Captain Hook all the time.
As Captain Hook.
But I appreciate it's so hard to get him to have fun because he's so method that I feel like he probably loved making this movie because he could just be a big
His laughs.
Yeah.
He's so good. This is such a good Dustin Hoffman role.
Yeah, Dante Basco had talked about how he was kind of really intimidated by it because, again, he wouldn't leave that. Yeah. He was always just Hook, and he would purposely like antagonize all the kids to keep that energy up. But Dante Basco like went and watched because he was like a teenager when he did this, and he watched a lot of his other like older films. Like he was watching things, and it would ask him about like what was it like to do these kind of performances, what would like, and Dustin Hoffman actually realized, oh, he's not just like some kid who's being a fan, he's actually asking me performance questions, and he actually took Dante Basco in and kind of helped him along with his craft, and he said it was the greatest experience. Like Dante Basco talks about that, he was like, it was incredible to have somebody of that caliber to go and actually treat you like a professional, even while he was like a kid.
That's so cool.
But yeah, he did put the energy in and just said like, I really like these, these kind of performances, and had real questions about, the idea about method. But yeah,
I also think the actor who played Jack,
Charlie Corso.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was great. I mean, I know we've seen him before. Good. He's always good, but he was so natural in this.
Yeah.
Like all of his reactions are just kind of there's definitely points where he's like, where the hell am I right now? Like, what's going on? When my favorite is when he goes, that's my dad, but he hates to fly. And like he was just like, I don't know how to react to this. Like you could tell it was like that awkward kid laugh. Like, I don't know whether I should be worried or like what's going on.
There's those weird kind of like moments where you see, because he came out of like we talked about him previously, where he wasn't really an actor, but he worked with a lot of like, he was in What About Bob, he was in this, he later
Can't Hardly Wait.
I think his final one was Can't Hardly Wait, right? And then he became a lawyer,
and then I met him at a party.
But yeah, it's interesting to kind of see that kind of, he really was a more natural performer, and it works in those scenes, especially in the clock when they're smashing all the clocks, to have those moments when he really seems hurt. And again, it's like tonally, I really don't know if I should be feeling that, but it is a great character shift when you start to see like, oh yeah, he loves this because he's actually getting to say like, you don't tell me what to do, and I get to say no, and I get to take control of my life, even though it's kind of grooming him along this violent, murderous pirate.
It's taking advantage of like this kid's pain and vulnerability and using it for his own nefarious purposes.
Yeah. I mean,
I would have killed that kid though if he was throwing a baseball on the plane, and I would.
Oh my God!
I would have actually thrown him out a hatch or something.
Yeah.
That would have been the quickest ending to this movie. It was
I'm pretty sure once he throws it and the oxygen masks come down, I'm pretty sure that would have gotten them to ground the plane and throw him off.
Yeah.
There would have been an air marshal like on their ass immediately.
Well, just the fact that he's just banging on the windows and like throwing it out on top of the and
you do see like two people in like a row behind kind of like peek their heads over and like, what is this kid doing?
Yeah,
that would be That was also that scene came up, I'm like, under no circumstances.
Yeah, That's when you start yelling at Robin Williams, like, get your fucking kid under control.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah. And it's weird because it's like at one point Robin Williams seems very, I don't know what the term would be. It would just like he
seems like he wants to be a better parent. And like he makes a lot of promises. And this is the other thing. Like, I thought this would kind of like pay off at some point, but it never does. My word is bond.
Yeah, that was a weird drop thing.
Just is like drops so many times at the beginning, doesn't pay off to anything at the end.
That was in the script and it got dropped at some point.
It probably got changed at some point, and was just kind of.
Well, even Hook brings that back, and again, it doesn't really go anywhere. Can I say, unrelated to all this? Moira kind of sucks, or they wrote this character to kind of suck. Like,
Moira's just a fill-in.
Yeah.
Like
she's just a fill-in. She has no agency. She puts up with way too much shit from Robin Williams' character.
Also, and when Peter discovers her, she hasn't said a word.
No.
He picks her over Wendy on sight alone. Or maybe he's like, oh, you're Gwyneth Paltrow's Oh, no, it's Wendy.
No, Gwyneth Paltrow is the young...
Never mind. So, it's just on sight alone, and it's stupid because Wendy had way more personality.
Yeah. And the speech she gives him, like that speech could be a good one, but it's...
how many years do you have left?
Yeah, like that could have been a really good speech from a more effective character, but it was like wasted writing on somebody who had no agency, no point in the story. Why did Peter Pan love her so much? No idea. Why did they continue to love him so much? No idea. Why did she love him?
I mean, it really is that awkward kind of like, oh, I saw you sleeping. And, it's very fairy tale-ish.
Sure.
Where it's like, I saw you sleeping and then I'm going to give you a kiss. No, a real kiss.
Edward Cullen. Like, nobody wants that shit.
Very Sleeping Beauty.
Yes. And that weird blend between, all right, this is either living in the fantasy or it's not, I feel like performance-wise, those scenes are really locked in and, people are giving like a really great, like, I thought she delivered that perfectly. I really need you to understand that you're fucking everything up,
Right. It's such a good speech.
Right. But yeah, I kind of agree with that. But then once you get into Neverland, that's when this film really kind of, and I think like it's weird because in Spielberg in interviews had said that he felt the most uncomfortable during the pirate fights and all these big like set pieces because he didn't know how to make it as fantastical as he wanted it to be.
The pirate fights were great.
But yeah, I mean, that's some of the most like
Pirates
really
are the
effective work.
It does suffer from video game logic where everybody waits their turn to fight Peter.
They're all just we don't want to deal with the kids. We want the real guy.
There's also a whole bunch of grown adults fighting kids who are shooting paintballs at them.
Paintballs
and they have
rotten
swords.
fruit.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like, oh, okay, I just give up because I got shot with paint in the face. As opposed to violently murdering them.
And it would have made more sense.
They have pistols and swords.
Right. And I would have been okay with that logic if that was like the world they built, that was like the extent of their violence. But they straight up talk about murdering people and how they like it. So tonally, it was a very strange.
And he does murder people. Like he tortures and murders
100%.
people.
So they're clearly like ruthless bands of murderous pirates. Yeah. There is no logic in the fact that they are thwarted by a tomato to the face.
But it's just so bad for your skin, the acidity. I got heartburn just thinking about it. It probably stings the eyes.
Sure, 100%.
Getting rolled over by a large child is also probably uncomfortable.
He's the best.
Yes.
He is a lot of fun. The training montage is, again, one of those moments where like the whimsy really works. I still don't quite understand why they have like the parasail thing going on.
Because it's got to be contemporary. They got to bring it up. So they needed skateboards. They needed extreme sports. That's what I thought. I thought it was like,
what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like the Shredder layer in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, where it's just like, technically it just looks like an arcade you would hang out with, except it's run by a violent sociopath.
It's the Mojo Dojo.
Did you not hang out in an arcade when you were a kid? There were
I did. We just stayed away from the guy.
Pedophiles and violent sociopaths were kind
of. There's also the argument to be made that Peter is a sociopath. So.
Oh, truly.
Sure. I mean,
sociopath fuckboy.
Yeah, Rufio at least, look like he could carry on by leading from example as opposed to just like I don't even know why Peter is the leader. Because he can fly?
Yeah.
That's it?
Why didn't he teach? Okay, why would he teach the darlings to fly, but all these Lost Boys don't?
Well, also,
get
Tink's the one with the fairy dust. Tink taught him. He's been gone for 30-something years. You never bothered to teach anyone else?
And Toodles gets to learn to fly?
He just went.
Logic?
It's literally just that Tink is hoarding the fairy dust. That is all that it is.
Yeah.
Because if she sprinkles fairy dust on you and you think about anything happy, and you know those Lost Boys don't bathe, so that fairy dust is on them forever.
It's like glitter.
At any point,
you're just finding
It's
it like
just
5
everywhere.
years
At any
later.
point, if they hit on their happy thought and they still have fairy dust on them, up they go.
Fine.
Yeah, so again, the logical inconsistencies, not of this movie, but of the entire story, drives me crazy.
There used to be more fairies, because
I did find myself missing Tinkerbell when she wasn't around. Like, she kind of is this like Deus Machina force that runs around
kind of like the MST3K cast. She's just sitting there, kind of like making faces
She's
and like
Peter's conscience. That
right, but also like literally can
conscience.
pull. Okay, I'm gonna stop this. Like they
and
could
also
just.
she's the only one who like is. I mean, Peter should have been dead the second he stepped foot in Neverland, right?
Yeah, she kicked
She's
like a
the
whole
only one
shitload
who's
of
like
pirates'
kicking
ass.
butt and like taking names, you know?
Yeah, and everybody seems to be afraid of fairies.
Yeah, why
Rightly so.
didn't Hook just make her his nemesis, and like none of this could have.
That would have been amazing if Tink just had like a little fairy army going against the pirates.
Fantastic!
I would totally watch
Give me
that
some
movie.
feral fairies, yes.
Well, that was actually part of the reason why she wanted to perform barefoot, is because she wanted to have that little bit of the
wildness,
the wild fairy origin, because they wanted to do these like ornate costume things, and they actually ended up toning it way down.
And they're like, no, instead you will wear the ugliest shorts that have ever existed.
This looks like they cut a little potato sack and stuck her in it.
Just awful.
I think it's great. I like to see like non-sexualized Julia Roberts. I was like, like tomboy Julia Roberts. I was like all for it.
There is a difference between the ugliest potato sack shorts that have ever existed and like a pinup fairy. There is like a middle line there, folks.
I was fine with it.
I mean, I did like the whole scene when she's in the dollhouse where she's like falling down the stairs and then pretending she's dead.
Oh my God,
she's
hilarious.
so good.
She's so good.
She's really good.
And the way, I mean, a Julia Roberts laugh is just
so infectious.
Like you just, every time she laughs, I'm just like, oh, give me more. I love it.
That's again why that scene when she turns herself big and has that confession is just so heartbreaking, because he doesn't even acknowledge or understand
didn't even cross his mind.
No, he's just like, oh, okay, well, I gotta go. See ya.
Okay,
it's just like,
he's a fuckboy.
Yeah,
and she has no other options. There are no other fairy men wandering around. She's not going to go with a pirate.
Pirates all smell horrible.
Yeah.
You can just tell that they
I
all
want
smell
Tink to leave
fish.
Neverland and go get a life like hanging out in London.
We want Tink's like bar banding.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do. I want Tink to have her vagina.
Gotta go to a gyno appointment and
right. I could see like an entire spin-off movie just with Tinkerbell.
Tinkerbell getting a pedicure.
Yeah.
It would be like me in a pedicure place where they laugh at how small my toes are.
They do have like a
actually
Tinkerbell.
happened to me on more than one occasion.
Have like a Tinkerbell cartoon.
Okay, I want Tink and Smee to like get an apartment in the real world together.
Makes sense.
Right, where they have to
Because
find their way
Smee's
through
not that
London.
committed to the pirate life, and he shoved a shit ton of
literally
bullion
leaving.
down the front of his pants. Like he's going to be set. So they can team up, live in the real world. I would watch 3 seasons of that. I mean, I wouldn't because I don't watch sitcoms, but like somebody would watch 3 seasons of that.
Wendy, I feel like Wendy should be like a remake of the Golden Girls with Tink, Toodles, Wendy, and Smee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Wendy's the Dorothy.
I could see that.
Wendy's not the Sophia?
No, Wendy's the Dorothy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wendy would be the Dorothy.
Maggie
yeah.
Smith is the Sophia.
Smee is Sophia.
Oh. Yeah,
No,
I could see
Smee is
Blanche? Smee
no.
is no, Smee. No.
It's Smee is Rose.
I feel like Tink
Yeah,
would be
she would be
Blanche.
No, Rose is Toodles. Come on now.
Tink would be Blanche. And Smee is no Dorothy. So in conclusion, Wendy is Dorothy.
Okay.
Toodles is wild.
I love this casting.
You did, but I mean, since we're on the subject of the Golden Girls, you did see that there's a Golden Guys coming out, right? Called What's it called? It's like Palm
Oh
Springs
yeah, but
Modern
it's
or
like
something?
Matt Bomer, who's in his like late 40s. That's not
But Matt Bomer
I mean,
with
technically,
Nathan Lane. Yeah,
technically, like a lot of people were in their
Nathan Lane.
40s.
no, they were in their they were in their mid 50s.
Were they in their 50s?
They were in their mid 50s.
I did want to mention so that like Spielberg had developed this movie like right around the time he was still doing like E.T. and everything like that. It was right around the mid 80s or the early 80s, I should say. And I think it was supposed to go to Nick Castle, but he wanted to like produce it and then have Nick Castle direct it. But it kept getting pushed back. And originally he had talked about it with Michael Jackson.
No.
And I kept thinking in my head, if you were going to do this in like 1983, 84 with Michael Jackson, like that could have worked. It basically would have been the fantasy version of Captain EO.
Yeah, I'm not convinced that any movie with Michael Jackson would have been good because I don't think Michael Jackson was actually a very good actor.
He's good in parts. Like he was fine in The Wiz.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
For the most part, because that was before he was Michael Jackson.
Right.
I
yeah.
think
I mean, he's always been Michael Jackson.
I think that there is a level of fame at which you cannot become an actor because you can't disappear into a part. And I feel like Michael Jackson is on that list.
I mean, that's also kind of funny because they originally had asked David Bowie to play Hook.
Bowie can always disappear into a part somehow.
I don't know. I feel like Jareth was still David Bowie.
But David Bowie in The Prestige, nobody...
That's true. That was
like everybody has to like second look David Bowie in Last Temptation of Christ. Last Temptation of Christ.
I will take back my original statement and replace it with at the peak of their fame.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
It is very difficult to see any of them as actors because
also I think that you have to pick. You can't be front and center. Like those roles worked for David Bowie because they were like weird side roles.
I think the only exception to the rule I can come up with right now is Ariana Grande, who surprisingly made us forget that she was in Glinda, which is impressive.
Yeah.
But it's also Ariana Grande. And
But it's also Ariana Grande. It's kind of like the David Bowie.
And she started as an actress. She started as a Disney actress.
Yeah. I mean, when you come out of that factory, it's kind of,
Ariana Grande is not Michael Jackson level.
No, I mean, she's
like superstar anyway.
No one will ever achieve that ever again.
Not,
not at this point. I mean, it's insane when you break that down. But apparently, when this actually started going into production, Michael Jackson got really offended that he wasn't asked to be part of it, and so he stopped talking to Steven Spielberg afterwards.
Probably for the best for Steven Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg was probably okay with that pretty soon.
But yeah, I like Spielberg always said like the best thing that ever came out of this was his lifelong friendship with Robin Williams.
Sweet.
And he would actually, they would talk on the phone when he was shooting Schindler's List. He would call him up to basically kind of cheer him up after like long, grueling, horrible days on set where they're doing like some of the most fucked up shit on camera. And they would kind of like walk themselves through it just to kind of liven it up and provide him some relief. So that was always one of those stories that he tells. That's
sweet.
Yeah, it always kind of gets me. He's like, genuinely understands the difficulty of doing something that close to it. I did want to talk about the weird crocodile bit. So the way that it ends.
I love the crocodile bit.
Was the crocodile undead? Was
the
it
crocodile was
dead?
undead?
Was it supernatural?
And is also apparently a portal to another dimension or something.
I thought he just ate him.
Because where did the body go?
I thought he just ate him.
He just ate him.
He just inhaled him.
And then he belches.
But again,
the mouth never
is it an
closed.
undead zombie crocodile?
I think it sucked him into another dimension where he's gone.
I kind of see it as that it's like Han Solo. They put him in like the carbonite and he's been frozen like that for however long it's been.
I mean, they stab him open and the green gas comes out. So
in theory, if somebody had put in a ham sandwich near carbonated Han Solo, he could have been able to eat it.
I mean, he was still alive. By saying that, I mean he was still alive, even though he was clearly
okay, great. Not that we can still actively consume dinner.
No, that he is still alive within the confines they have put him in.
Sure, okay.
Yeah, it is a little strange because it lands on him and then he just kind of disappears inside.
And also, it doesn't look like there's anything to the back of the alligator's throat, like it's been taxidermied in such a way that
again
there's nothing back there,
so guys, never land.
That
I have some questions with the inconsistency.
Food appears out of thin air. It is possible that an alligator comes back to life for a few seconds to swallow Captain Hook and then he's dead again.
Yeah.
No, I mean that logic fits. Like if you have a sense of childlike wonder, you get to see and eat the food.
Right.
Yeah.
That logically that's consistent.
And if you have a sense of childlike wonder, your nemesis can be eaten by a dead crocodile.
If you have a childlike fear of crocodiles, you can get eaten by a crocodile even when it's dead. I don't think you need to have a chat. I think an adult,
a rational fear.
Crocodiles is perfectly valid.
It is rational to be scared.
Terrifying beast.
Oh, see, now I'm imagining like, okay, so you could only see it if you really have this kind of like imagination portal to this. Like, it's going to be like a crossover between Hook and like Insidious, or
maybe if you have a sense of like piratey revenge and dread, then that's when you can see Hook's mangled bloody body beneath the crocodile.
Okay, Hook is essentially the turkey leg of this whole thing. I
get that.
And the crocodile just sees the turkey leg.
And it's like, yum, 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 I want that.
And if you were filled with a sense of vengeance.
And also, if they had ever come back for a sequel, the crocodile could have just burped Hook back up and he would have still been in one piece. Like, like the whale and Pinocchio.
And the whale,
my cat is
the guy who was just swallowed by a whale in real life. In Chile.
Yeah.
It happens.
It happens actually fairly frequently.
My
There's a lot
cat
of
is
diver stories.
with her head resting in my hand, so I can't go to the concert with you, Randall.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I could see like doing this, like a kind of sequel or reimagining of this kind of thing, because I like that beginning when they come. Because one of my favorite parts, it's like almost Sam Raimi-esque when they come to the house and the windows are all broken and the Hook is just like scraped up everything, and it's like creepy. It's straight up a horror movie
for real.
And I love that idea of the crossover, but I was kind of like imagining it like if we're going to reimagine this, it's like, okay, Hook comes back from Neverland into the real world looking for, rather than the reverse where he's got to go into Neverland.
Oh, I love that.
So it's kind of like, Last Action Hero, where the guys come out into the reality and realize, oh, no one gives a shit if I murder people.
That was kind of what happened in that Peter Pan remake.
Oh, right.
Jason Isaacs? Wasn't like Jason Isaacs like...
Yeah, that was like Neverland.
Like banker or something?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
I don't remember.
Or was that one? Is that Pan or
whatever it was? It was apparently very good. I never saw it, but everybody said it was.
Well, I read to see it, and it's got like a Getty in there.
I just have to pause for a second. Rufus is licking Echo right now.
Oh.
we all have our pets that are dealing with they're nice. Okay, I always cause so much commotion when I ever say I just never had any feelings for this movie. I kind of get it. It's a hot mess, but I mean, it's still enjoyable. It's way too long. It's way too long.
It is a little too long.
Yeah, 2 hours and 12 minutes.
Yeah, it's too long.
For a movie from the 90s.
It's too long, and I don't think I would ever...
A kids movie.
Yeah. I would never intentionally watch it again without a child.
Oh, no,
because I feel like it's not an adult movie. So it's...
No, I'd watch it.
It's definitely not an adult.
I'm not an adult.
This
40-year-old.
There is no question as to who this movie is made for.
Can I show you my stuffed animals that are on that wall across there?
Oh my god, I'm so
by that
fuzzy
I mean
now.
there is nothing like most of the movies that we watched as kids still have some access point for adults that we can go back and be like, this still is relevant to us, and this one is just, this is so for kids.
It is very much a kids movie. I am surprised that they haven't kind of like monetize this movie more at like Disney World. Why isn't there more of a like?
No, this is TriStar Pictures.
Wow.
So
that's because I'm like, it's not Disney Plus, then it wasn't a Disney movie.
Yeah, so TriStar's now like Sony, but it's also Amblin Entertainment. So then you got to deal with like that. Yeah, so it's like it's a crossover between that, which is also probably why it's not available to stream anywhere.
It was surprising.
Like, it's for purchase, but yeah.
Yeah.
For a second, it showed that it was for free. Well, also, it all goes to the Great Ormond Street Hospital. So, you're helping.
I don't know. I mean, some of it went to Amazon.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Amazon doesn't pay for orphans.
Well, no, they pay for orphans to work most likely.
They would be the most likely company that had the orphan crushing machine.
Yeah, I am sure that Amazon would very happily take the Lost Boys and put them in a warehouse somewhere to work.
100%. Those little hands. They're so good at ripping tape and closing boxes.
Taping,
and the pirates too.
It's good at getting.
The pirates are their delivery guys.
Can I say something out of pocket as we're winding this down?
Yes.
Only if you don't use the phrase "out of pocket" that way.
Did anybody else find the cartoon version of Captain Hook kind of hot?
No,
like the Disney one.
That is not on the same level as
from like when we're
that is Captain Hook Hook is no Robin Hood.
No, Jafar. I'll give you Jafar.
He fucks. Come on. Anyway, that's not this movie. I just unburden myself on y'all.
Okay. Yeah.
You've now tormented me.
I did just interview an artist who loved all the Disney villains. Like when he was a kid, he would paint the Disney villains on his wall, and Captain Hook was definitely one of them.
Yeah.
He's a major
kind
villain.
of got like a queer icon status, you know?
It's kind of like in The Great Mouse Detective when Vincent Price, it's like that flamboyant, very coded.
It is kind of
foppish,
fascinating how many Disney villains were gay coded.
So campy. Well, a lot of the artists who worked on them.
Other than Gaston, who is clearly like straight hetero, like Ursula is a drag queen.
Yep.
Scar is very clearly gay.
Oh, even like Maleficent.
Gaston is a muscle queen. Gaston is 100% a muscle queen.
I think of Gaston as like toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
I think of Gaston as toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Okay.
But most of them are gay coded.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Scar. Yeah.
Scar. Yeah.
The whole hunting thing that he does.
And like, even if you go back before, I always kind of reference 101 Dalmatians of that. Yeah. Like, Cruella is obviously like,
the seven dwarves guys, iconic, it's seven men living in a house together.
Yeah, but they're not the villains.
No, they're not villains.
Well, they represent capitalism. Therefore, aren't they?
They're the laborers. Yeah, so, laborers. They're the proletariat.
Also, that
what are they working for? They're not working for
like remake just looks so
bad. Oh my god!
No, it's just it just looks.
It looks bad.
It looks.
And I like Rachel Zegler, really but it's bad.
Yeah,
it doesn't look great.
It's just I don't know why that we can't.
Why can't we just leave things alone?
Why can't we make new things?
Yeah.
Why
make new things.
Or
totally.
Take things that were bad
and make them better.
And make those things and make them better.
I was going to say, if you want to do a live action thing, do The Great Mouse Detective. Yes. God damn it.
Or The Black Cauldron, which would be horrifying as a live action movie.
Yeah. Oh God.
I want to see that.
Yeah,
Oliver and Company. No, that would be terrible. I love.
No, Oliver and Company. I still love that movie. The Aristocats.
That was actually a good one.
I want to see Aristocats.
You've taken us off an unhinged trip.
Yes.
Let's go back to, is this fun anymore?
No.
Yes, for us. Even though we cried the whole time. We got very emotional.
As someone who has had...
Not even my period yet. No.
Someone who has had way too much experience with man-children. No.
Nope.
Not fun anymore.
And as somebody who has a kid tangentially in their lives, this isn't one of the ones I'm going to show my niece. This one, I can never watch it again. I'm fun.
I like that there's parts of this that I could appreciate, but I don't know if I could, because it's just too long.
This made the little kid in me want to fly.
Charlie Corsmo.
I love Smee. I love Bob Hoskins as Smee in this, and I love all the scenes with him and Dustin Hoffman, but they're too few and far between.
And I hold anything dear that Robin Williams is in, but we can all admit not all Robin Williams movies were good.
They're not all created equal.
They're not.
Yeah, there are some schmaltzy stinkers that he had. And,
yes, there's some bad movies in his bio, but that's okay because we still love him.
I
did
think
also call out one of his other movies in this when he goes, "Good morning, Neverland."
Right? Yeah, that was pretty good. I actually did really appreciate that. He did this one the year after. What was it? It was the year after he did Cadillac Man, which is like one of my favorite.
Which would have been
dark
this would have been his comeback.
Oh yeah, this is like when
Cadillac Man was the last one that bombed.
Did it really bomb? I don't remember it.
That was not.
I don't even remember Cadillac Man existing.
It was like super R-rated.
Oh, it's got Tim Robbins and as like a guy who's robbing this sleazy car, and he plays like a sleazy car dealer, and he's trying to like get people out of like the hostage situation. It's really crazy.
The Fisher King did pretty well, if I remember.
Was that before this? Or?
That was
the same year as.
So I think like this was his comeback year.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he did Fisher King and this in the same year.
And then he pulled, and also Fern Gully the year after, and Aladdin the year after. My God.
Aladdin,
Fern Gully was amazing. Fern Gully sucked.
Wow.
Fern Gully is not a good movie.
We have found the plan of departure for the storyline.
Fuck you.
Wow. Remember when you were like, Helen's my sister that rescued me. When I was lost, I go, Helen.
She's now. She's
dead. You're like,
and now she's dead to me.
Fuck you.
I mean, that is sister relationships in a nutshell, right there.
I do not understand sister relationships.
I feel like that's the best way to end this. It's just a fuck you.
Consistency in relationships, guys. Unconditional love.
Yes.
Later than I do when she turns the lights out. What does she think about? And what does she do in the daylight that makes her so great? Oh, but to be, I'd like to be, just wants to be.